Happy Monday. What you guys been doing today? Have y'all been finishing up some of your, schoolwork for the week? This is our last week of school for the 2019-2020 school year. I know it does not feel like it's the last week because we've been out so many weeks, but it is officially the last week. So we have 5 more days of Miss Byrd reading to you, and I thought I would kind of start off with a kind of a funny story this week. It is a Sunshine State Junior book that the third graders have been reading this year, and it when I read it earlier this year, I thought it was kind of a funny story. And Mondays sometimes when you wake up on Monday, what kind of mood are you in on a Monday? Many times grumpy, right? Because it's a Monday and you don't want to start the week again. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's already Monday? Where did the weekend go? This story is called Grumpy Monkey. And he just has this, grumpy mood. So we're going to find out all about Grumpy Monkey and why he's grumpy. And his friends are trying to tell him he's grumpy, and he's not exactly agreeing with them. It is a 2.2. It is a half a point. The quiz number is 196144. Look at his face. Now, if that's not a grumpy face, I don't know what is. But I can tell you, Miss Byrd's face looks like this when I get up in the morning. Definitely. Oh, and before I forget, okay, if you have any library books that need to be turned in, you may give them to the people who are handing out lunches in the places where they are handing out lunches, like, in the Jasper Library, the Jennings Library, all of the locations that they have been providing lunches. There will be, I think, we're going to be putting out a bin or boxes up at the school that you can return them there as well. So if you have any library books, please, please, please return them to the school in some way. Get them back. If you don't even bring them yourself, send them by somebody. Send them by your grandma, your aunt, whoever. And so they can get checked in and your name can get, cleared that you don't have any library books due. All right? All right. Ready to get started? All right, let's go. Grumpy Monkey by Suzanne Lang. Illustrated by Max Lang. One wonderful day, Jim Pansy woke to discover that nothing was right. The sun was too bright, the sky was too blue, and the bananas were too sweet. So there's Jim. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong page. Look at his face. So he was not having a good day. Jim was confused. What's going on? Maybe you're grumpy, suggested Norman from next door. I'm not grumpy, Jim insisted. So Norman is the gorilla. So Norman says, well, maybe you're grumpy. And we didn't even talk about what does grumpy mean. What does grumpy mean if you're in a grumpy mood? Grumpy is like you're in a bad mood and nothing's satisfying you, and you're just, nothing's making you happy, okay? On his walk, he met Marabou. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Marabou. Why are you so grumpy, Jim? Asked Marabou. It's such a wonderful day. Grumpy? Me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. But look at how you're standing, Marabou said. It's true, said Norman. You're all hunched over. So Jim loosened up. So here's Marabou, the bird. And so they're telling him, you're all hunched over, loosen up. So that's what he does. Then he ran into Lemore. "Jim's grumpy," Norman told Lemore. "Why are you grumpy, Jim?" asked Lemore. "It's such a wonderful day." "Grumpy? Me? I'm not grumpy," said Jim. "Your eyebrows look grumpy," said Lemore. "It is true," said Norman. "They're all bunched up." So Jim raised his eyebrows. You know how when you do your eyebrows like this and you're like frowning, okay? That's what his eyebrows were doing. And so he said, "Okay, I'm going to let them where they're not all bunched up anymore." Here's Lemore. So who keeps telling all of his friends that he's in a bad mood? Norman. And what does Jim keep saying? "I'm not grumpy." Do you think Jim's grumpy? Yeah, I kind of think so too. Then he tripped over Snake. "Oh no," said Norman. "That's the last thing you need when you're feeling so grumpy." "Grumpy? Me? I'm not grumpy," said Jim. "Then why that frown?" said Snake. "I think it's because he tripped over you," Norman whispered to Snake. So Jim put on a smile. So here he is. He tripped over Snake to begin with. Here comes my kitty cat. "You will come and join me for the story?" "Come on, you can come up here." And now they said, "You got to smile. Why are you frowning? So why aren't you smiling?" So now Jim's trying to tell them, "Okay, I'll smile." So every time that they tell him that he's not doing something, what does Jim do? He does what they said he wasn't doing. Finally, Jim looked happy. But he didn't feel happy inside. You ever been that way? You ever walk around and you smiling and everybody's saying, "How you doing?" And you're like, I'm good. And really on the inside, you're really not good. And a lot of people do that. A lot of adults do that. And sometimes children do that. And, that's okay to do that every once in a while. But we don't want to do that all the time because we really need to, talk about what might be really bothering us. Everyone wanted Jim to enjoy this wonderful day. "You should sing with us," said the birds. Jim didn't feel like singing. "You should swing with us," said the monkeys. Jim didn't feel like swinging. So there's the birds and there's the monkeys. Juju, come here. Kitty, 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 kitty. My Juju is outside and she runs off. And she's running to the edge of the woods and she's hiding. So I have to keep up with her. "You should roll with us," said the zebras. Jim didn't feel like rolling. "You should stroll with us," said the peacocks. Jim didn't feel like strolling. "You should lie in the grass," said who? The lions. "You should stomp your feet," said who? The elephants. So all of the animals are doing what? All of the animals are trying to get him to do something to make him feel what? In a good mood. should take a bath and make a splash. You should hug someone. You should laugh. You should take a nap. You should eat old meat or some honey. You should jump up and down. You should sit in the sun. You should dance. So look at all those animals. There's the hippo and a bear and a snake and a hyena and a frog and a vulture and a porcupine. Whoops, whoops. I lost my page. Here we go. And they're all telling him different things that he should do. To try and make him what? Not feel grumpy. But Jim didn't feel like doing any of that. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Said the others. It's such a wonderful day. I'm not grumpy, shouted Jim as he beat his chest. I'm not grumpy. Look at him. He's grumpy now, isn't he? All of his animal friends. You know, like, you ever been asked something by your friends, maybe, or by your family, and they ask you the same thing over and over, and everybody that you're around keeps asking you the same question? Why are you in a bad mood? Why are you feeling bad? Why are you being so quiet? And maybe you weren't in a bad mood to begin with, but by the time that they keep on asking you those questions, maybe you kind of feel that way. And maybe that's what's going on with Grumpy Monkey. And he stormed off. So there's his buddies, his friends, and now he's leaving. Where do you think he's going? I don't know. It looks like he's maybe wanting to be by himself, doesn't he? Jim felt sorry. A little sorry for shouting at everyone, but mostly sorry for himself. I guess I am grumpy, Jim sighed. And just as he was starting to feel really sad, there he is. He goes and sits by himself under a tree. There, sweet girl. Come here. Juju, come here. Let me see if I can get her to come. Come here, Juju. Come here, baby. I'll show her to you. Hold on. Come here. You want to watch? Want to give me a story? Yeah, on the camera? Mm-hmm. Look. Oh, wee. Oh, wee. Tell everybody hello. Say, hey, everybody. Say, my mama had to run and check me and catch me. My mama's always looking for me. My mama's always calling for me. So my mama loves me very much. My mama worries about me. See, I'm just a year old. I'm still a baby. But I want to be a big girl. Yeah, see? She wants down. Tell everybody hey. Tell them hey. Psh. Let them get down. All right. Let's finish up the story. And just as he was starting to feel really sad, he came upon Norman. Remember Norman, his friend, the gorilla? Norman was slumped. His eyebrows were bunched up, and he was frowning. What's the matter? Are you grumpy? Asked Jim. No, I danced with Porcupine, said Norman. And look what happened. He danced with Porcupine. He got quills in him. So he's not grumpy. He's hurting. Are you okay? Asked Jim. It hurts, but I'll probably feel better soon enough, said Norman. Are you still grumpy? Yeah, said Jim, but I'll probably feel better soon enough too. For now, I just need to be grumpy. It's a wonderful day to be grumpy, said Norman. Jim agreed. And he already felt a little bit better. Let's see, we'll get on this side. And that's the end of our story, Grumpy Monkey. That was a 2.2, half a point, quiz number 196144. So why do you think Grumpy Monkey was grumpy? Huh? Think about that. I'm going to go run and turn the lights on real quick. Ooh, I need to sit there so we can see a little bit better. There you go. So what do you think? Well, there was nothing seemed to be bothering him. He never did really say, did he? And, you know, do you ever have those times sometimes you just don't know why you might be grumpy, but you're just kind of having one of those moods or one of those days? Yeah, I think that we all kind of have one of those. And, you wake up and you're not in the best mood and you just don't know why, but you kind of can't explain it. And, you just wish that kind of everybody might leave you alone a little bit. You want to be quiet. I know when Miss Byrd wakes up in the morning, I want to be quiet. I really don't want to talk. I got to get my coffee, and I just want to have some quiet time. Well, everybody doesn't feel the same way. Some people wake up and they're in a good mood and they're ready to talk and they're ready to visit. And so we all are different. So maybe that was the day that Grumpy was having a day that he just wanted to be quiet and he wanted to be by himself. And his friends kept saying, why are you feeling this way? And why are you frowning? And why are you got your eyebrows bunched up? And why are you got your shoulders all hunched over? So if you have a friend like that, you might can ask them one time, but don't keep asking them over and over, why are they having a bad day or why are they having, a grumpy mood. Now, if they're really, really upset and they're really, really crying and there's really, really a bad reason, then yes, you need to, try to find out and try to help them and get them some help, maybe from an adult. But if they're just, kind of having an off day and they just want to be a little bit quiet and maybe just kind of work through it through themselves or by themselves. So you see at the end, Grumpy Monkey just says, you know what, I'm already feeling a little bit better. And he was just feeling a little bit better just because Norman was feeling a little bit grumpy because he was hurting. And so it just kind of turned out that they talked a little bit and things were already getting a little bit better. So usually talking about it sometimes for a few minutes might make things better, but sometimes people just want to be quiet about it. So whichever way, I hope you enjoyed Grumpy Monkey. And on the days that you're a grumpy monkey, I hope that you find a way to get in a good mood. All right? I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.